Welcome to medieval Sleepy, a place where the world slows and the night begins to whisper. Here you'll drift through forgotten castles, quiet forests, and rain-soaked villages, places where time itself moves softly. Let the air grow still around you. Let your breath find its rhythm. You are safe here, warm, and far from the noise of the waking world. Tonight's story awaits, somewhere deep in the calm of the old kingdom. Close your eyes, listen, and let the journey begin. The world is quiet now, the kind of quiet that feels like a blanket, thick, soft, and endlessly still. You walk along a narrow path of stone, the kind that winds gently through an ancient village. The evening sky above is pale and silver, the moon half veiled behind drifting clouds. A single snowflake touches your cheek, cool, featherlight, and then another, and another. The first snow of the season has begun to fall. Each flake glows faintly in the moonlight, catching the air like shimmering dust. The rooftops, slanted and thatched with straw, slowly gather a thin, delicate frosting. Wooden shutters creak as a sleepy villager closes them against the cold. The faint scent of burning pine drifts from somewhere nearby, mingling with the clean, cold breath of the winter night. You breathe it in, slow and deep. The air tastes of frost and quiet. Beneath your boots, the ground crunches faintly. The stones of the path are rimmed with frost, and the snow has already begun to settle in the grooves between them. You pass a wooden fence, half buried in white, and hear the soft whinny of a horse from the stable beyond. Even the animals seem hushed tonight, as though they too sense the peace of this moment, the first true night of winter. Somewhere in the distance, a bell tolls, slow and deep, from the small chapel at the heart of the village. Its sound rolls across the valley like a wave of warmth, echoing faintly against the snow-covered hills. 1, 2, 3 gentle notes, then silence again. You follow the sound toward the heart of the village. The path opens into a small square, ringed by cottages with warm light glowing through the shutters. A few lanterns hang from wooden posts, their flames flickering softly in the wind. The snow dances through their glow, catching firelight for a moment before vanishing into darkness. The whole village seems wrapped in a kind of quiet magic, a pause between moments, a breath between seasons. You walk past a baker's shop, its sign creaking gently on its hook. The smell of bread lingers faintly, even though the ovens have gone cold. The scent mixes with the smoke from nearby chimneys, carrying warmth into the chill. You pause to listen. From somewhere deeper in the village comes a faint, tender sound, a lute being played slowly by a hearth. The melody drifts through the night like a soft dream. Each note falls gently, almost blending with the whisper of falling snow. You can almost see the player in your mind, an old minstrel perhaps, seated by the fire, playing for no one but himself and the quiet. The snow thickens now, falling steadily. The world begins to soften at its edges. The rooftops blur. The trees become silhouettes against the glowing sky. Every sound is muffled, as if the snow itself absorbs all harshness. The village becomes a dream. You pass a frozen well, its stone rim dusted white. The rope that once drew water now hangs still, tipped with frost. Beneath it, the well's mouth is sealed with a thin sheet of ice, fragile, glimmering. You touch the rim and feel the cold stone beneath your fingers. It's smooth, ancient, and grounding. Ahead you see a small inn. Its sign reads, "The Silver Hearth." Warm golden light spills from the doorway, painting a soft path across the snow. A cat sits curled beside the threshold, its fur puffed against the chill, eyes half closed in drowsy contentment. As you draw near, it blinks once, lazily, as if to greet you, and then tucks its head back into its paws. You push open the wooden door, and warmth envelops you. Inside, the air glows with firelight. The scent of oak smoke and beeswax candles fills the room. Wooden beams stretch above, dark and polished by years of quiet evenings. A fire crackles in the great stone hearth, sending tiny sparks upward like orange stars. The sound of it, that steady crackle, feels like an old friend. You take a seat near the fire. The bench beneath you is worn smooth and warm from many nights of travelers resting their weary feet. The innkeeper, a kindly woman with silver hair and a shawl of wool, nods to you from across the room. She moves slowly, quietly, as if she too does not wish to disturb the peace that fills the night. A cup of warm cider waits before you, sweet, fragrant with cinnamon and clove. You wrap your hands around it, feeling the heat soak into your skin. Outside, the wind hums softly against the shutters, but it is a gentle sound, not a threat, only a reminder of the world beyond this haven. The fire crackles. The lute continues, distant but comforting. You breathe slowly now, each breath deeper, each exhale softer. You notice the other guests in the room, a few travelers resting in quiet thought. One stares into the fire, his cloak steaming faintly as the snow melts from it. Another dozes gently, head resting on folded arms. The innkeeper hums faintly as she wipes the counter, a simple, wordless tune that seems older than the village itself. You close your eyes for a moment. Behind your eyelids, the firelight still dances, a red-orange glow that sways like candlelight beneath the skin. You hear the pop of wood, the sigh of wind, the rustle of straw as the cat outside shifts in its sleep. Everything slows. The world breathes in harmony. The fire, the snow, the gentle rhythm of your own pulse. It feels like the night itself is watching over you, like the stars above the clouds still shine quietly for this small place, this quiet village, this single moment of peace. You open your eyes again, and the room has grown softer somehow, less distinct, more like a dream. The walls blur gently in the glow, and the air seems to hum with warmth. You feel safe here, safe and still. Outside, the snow continues. You imagine it falling endlessly over fields and forests, over rooftops and distant towers, covering everything in silence. A silence that does not feel empty, but full of rest, of calm, of endless gentleness. You sip the last of your cider. The sweetness lingers. The innkeeper lights another candle, its flame flickering beside you. She smiles faintly, then disappears into the kitchen. You hear the faint clink of pottery, the soft hum of her voice fading into the distance. The fire sighs and settles. You lean back against the wooden wall, closing your eyes once more. The bench creaks softly beneath you. Outside, the snow whispers against the door. Light and constant, it feels as though the whole world is breathing slowly with you. In and out, in and out the night deepens. The village sleeps. The first snowfall of the age of snow has come, gentle, pure, endless. You let your thoughts drift like flakes on the wind, slow, soft, and weightless until even thought itself begins to fade. And in that quiet fading, you rest. The fire glows, the snow falls, and peace, deep and ancient, wraps around you like a blanket. The night deepens. Outside, the snow continues. Its endless descent, soft, unhurried, patient. The world beyond the windows of the silver hearth has turned entirely white, and even the wind has quieted, as though it too wishes not to disturb the calm. You sit beside the fire, eyes half closed, listening to the soft symphony of warmth. The wood shifts and sighs in the hearth, sending a few sparks fluttering upward before vanishing into the dim rafters above. The smell of burning pine fills the air, rich, sweet, and comforting. Each breath you take carries a trace of that scent. Each exhale drifts out softly, like a whisper into the quiet. You can hear the faint ticking of something, perhaps a clock, perhaps just the creak of the old beams in the roof as they settle with the cold. The rhythm is steady, reassuring. It makes the moment feel endless, as though this night will never end, nor should it. The inn has grown quieter now. The other travelers have drifted to their rooms, leaving only you and the innkeeper's cat by the fire. The cat, a soft gray thing with white paws, has claimed a chair near the hearth and sleeps with its tail curled neatly beneath its chin. Its slow breathing matches the rhythm of the fire, rising, falling, rising, falling. You rest your head against the wooden wall. The warmth seeps deep into your body. It melts away the chill of the outside air, the ache in your hands, the faint stiffness of travel. The firelight paints the walls in hues of amber and gold, dancing gently as if to the rhythm of an unseen song. You close your eyes again and listen. Far beyond the inn's thick stone walls, the snow whispers as it falls, a faint hush like the sound of silk brushing silk. You imagine the flakes piling softly atop one another, blanketing the fields, the rooftops, the chapel's spire. The whole village has become a sea of white, hushed and gleaming. A log collapses in the hearth, sparks scatter upward, a brief constellation, and then fade. The innkeeper reappears quietly, a candle in her hand. She moves slowly, gracefully, her shadow long and gentle upon the walls. She places a fresh log onto the fire and watches it catch, smiling faintly at the warmth it offers. She glances toward you and says softly, almost a whisper, "'Tis a good night for dreams." Her voice is low, calm, and kind. You nod, faintly, and she returns to her small wooden chair near the counter, where a spindle of wool waits beside her. She begins to spin, the wheel turning in soft, steady circles. The faint whir of it blends perfectly with the sigh of the fire, the whisper of snow, the deep hum of midnight. The rhythm lulls you deeper. Round and round the spindle turns. Crackle and sigh goes the fire. Slow and deep your breath moves with them both. The candle beside you flickers. Its flame dances within a small glass holder, painting a soft halo of light on the table. You watch the wax melt, a slow river flowing down its side. The scent of beeswax mingles with pine smoke and something faintly sweet, perhaps dried lavender that the innkeeper keeps in a bowl nearby. You rest your hand on the table's surface. It's smooth, cool in places, warm where the firelight touches. You trace the faint carvings in the wood, initials old and worn marks left by travelers long gone. It feels good to know they sat here once, too, that they found warmth on a winter night, much like this one. Time moves gently now. You can no longer tell how long you've been sitting here. Minutes stretch and fold upon themselves. The sound of the spindle slows. The candle grows shorter. The cat sighs softly in its sleep. Beyond the inn's windows, the moon rises higher, pale and round, veiled by clouds that drift like ghosts. Its light slips through the shutters, painting faint silver lines across the wooden floor. Snowflakes still fall in that light, turning and tumbling in the air like drifting stars. You stand, slowly, letting your legs stretch. The warmth clings to you as you move toward the window. You open the shutter just a crack, and cold air seeps in, fresh, sharp, and clean. The night outside is breathtaking. The whole village lies beneath a thick quilt of white. Chimneys send thin curls of smoke upward into the moonlight. The chapel bell, now silent, stands at the hill's crest like a guardian over the sleeping homes. In the distance, beyond the frost-bitten fences, you can see the dark line of the forest, ancient trees, wearing crowns of snow. You close your eyes and listen again. There is no sound but the snow, that steady, endless hush. It fills the world, fills your mind, fills the quiet space inside your chest where worries used to dwell. In that silence, you feel something deeper, a peace older than words, the kind that belongs to winter nights, to glowing hearths, to still hearts. You close the shutter again, keeping just a sliver of moonlight to fall across the room. The fire has burned low now. The coals glow deep red, pulsing softly like the heart of the night itself. The innkeeper has stopped spinning and sits motionless, her eyes half-lidded, head tilted slightly as if listening to some old song within her memory. You whisper a thank. You so softly that even you barely hear it. And she smiles in her half-sleeping way, as though she understands. You make your way to the stairs, wooden, creaking faintly beneath your slow steps. Each sound echoes softly in the vast quiet, but it is not a disturbance. It feels instead like part of the lullaby of the place. At the top of the stairs, a hallway stretches before you, lit by a single candle. The air is cooler here, touched by the faint scent of dried herbs. Rosemary, sage, thyme hung from the rafters to dry. The scent is comforting, earthy, warm in its own way. You open the door to your small chamber. Inside, a simple bed waits by the window, layered in thick wool blankets. A candle flickers on a small wooden table, and beside it lies a basin of clear water, a folded cloth, and a sprig of dried lavender. The floor creaks faintly as you step inside, then falls silent. You close the door behind you. The air is cool but still. You light another candle, just for a moment, to chase away the shadows. The flame catches, dances, steadies. The golden light fills the corners of the room, touching the stone wall, the wooden beams, the blanket folded neatly at the foot of the bed. You run your hand over the fabric. It's soft, thick, and faintly scented with smoke and sun-dried wool. The bed itself looks inviting, like a promise whispered by the night. You sit on its edge, unlacing your boots, feeling the slow relief of your feet sinking into warmth. The world outside the shuttered window fades into a distant dream. The candlelight flickers over your hands. You lie back. The pillow beneath your head is soft and cool. The blanket drapes over you, heavy and comforting. The bed creaks once, then stills. The fire downstairs continues its slow, rhythmic crackle. You can hear it through the floorboards, a faint heartbeat in the silence. The sound blends with the muffled sigh of the wind, the whisper of the falling snow, the pulse of your own breath. Everything feels aligned. Everything feels safe. You stare at the ceiling beams, dark lines above you, solid and steady. You imagine the stars beyond the roof, their light glimmering softly over the sleeping world. The air grows warmer. Your body grows heavier. You close your eyes. The candle flame sways once, then steadies. The snow continues its descent, slow, endless, kind, and the hearth below burns gently on, keeping watch over the night. Your breath deepens, your mind drifts, and the village, wrapped in snow and sleep, dreams with you. The night has settled into its deepest quiet, a stillness so complete it feels alive, breathing, waiting, listening. You awaken though you are not sure if you were truly asleep, for the air around you feels like a dream, and perhaps it is. The candle beside your bed has burned low. Its flame is small now, a fragile heart of gold, swaying gently in the dim room. Shadows dance across the walls like slow-moving clouds. You lie there a moment longer, watching them, listening to the faint hum of silence. The fire below has quieted to embers. You can smell its soft ghost in the air, the memory of warmth, the echo of smoke. It mingles with the faint scent of snow slipping through the cracks of the window's shutter. You rise quietly, wrapping your cloak around your shoulders. The wool is heavy, lined with warmth from the hearth's memory. You open the shutter just a little, and moonlight spills in cold, silver, tender dot. The village lies before you, half buried beneath the night's gentle snow. The rooftops glow pale beneath the moon. Smoke from chimneys curls upward and vanishes into the starlit sky. The whole world seems to be holding its breath. You listen for a moment. There is nothing. And then a sound. A bell. One single, distant chime. Soft and low. The chapel bell. You wait, and it comes again, slow and deep, carrying through the frost-laden air. Each note rolls over the village like a wave of silver sound. Not a warning, not a call, just a mark of the hour, perhaps midnight, perhaps something older than time itself. Something inside you stirs, a quiet curiosity, a gentle pull. You draw your cloak tighter and step into the night. The cold greets you like an old friend, crisp, clean, and full of life. Snow crunches beneath your boots, a delicate rhythm in the vast silence. Your breath forms pale clouds that drift and vanish, joining the mist that hangs low over the rooftops. The world glows with moonlight. You pass the inn's door, closed now, the lantern above it, flickering faintly. The cat still sleeps on its chair inside. You imagine, dreaming of warmth and milk and endless naps. You smile at the thought and move on. Each house you pass is dark and peaceful. Windows shuttered, chimneys trailing faint threads of smoke. Through a few thin cracks, you catch glimpses of golden candlelight, of shadowed figures resting in deep sleep. Somewhere a lullaby hums faintly, a mother's voice perhaps, soothing a child through the hush of the night. You follow the sound of the bell. It comes again, clearer now. 3 slow tones, then silence. The path winds upward, toward the chapel hill. The snow here is untouched, a smooth, glistening path that glows under the moon. Each step feels softer than the last, as if the earth itself wants to carry you gently onward. Frost clings to the branches of nearby trees, turning them into sculptures of glass. When the wind brushes through, they shimmer faintly, releasing a delicate sound, a crystalline whisper. Like chimes in the distance, you breathe in the scent of winter, clean and sharp, touched by pine and the faint sweetness of wood smoke, carried from the valley below. The chapel appears slowly at the crest of the hill. Its stone walls are pale beneath the moonlight, its spire rising high into the star-flecked sky. A single lantern burns near the door, casting a circle of gold upon the snow. The bell above, hidden in its tower, is still now, but its voice lingers in the air, a soft hum that seems to vibrate in your chest. You approach slowly. The heavy wooden door stands slightly ajar. A sliver of light spills from within, warm and inviting. You push gently, and it opens with a quiet creak, the sound echoing softly in the vaulted space beyond. Inside, the air is warmer. Still, candles line the stone walls, their flames trembling in slow rhythm. The scent of melted wax and old wood fills the air. The floor beneath your feet is cold, smooth stone, faintly glistening with melted snow that has found its way in. The chapel is empty, save for the light and the silence. You walk between the rows of wooden pews, their surfaces worn smooth by countless hands. The flickering light dances over carvings of vines and flowers, angels and stars, the work of hands long gone, but still alive in the glow. At the far end, before the altar, a small brazier burns faintly crackling, its embers pulsing red and gold. The fire's warmth reaches you in soft waves, mingling with the cold air like two halves of the same breath. You sit upon a pew near the front. For a long time, you do not move. You simply breathe, listening to the faint whisper of the candles, the quiet rhythm of your heart, the soft sigh of wind through the bell tower above. The peace here is deep, older than words, older than memory. You look up, and through a high-arched window, you see the moon, vast and silent, framed in frosted glass. Snowflakes drift past the window, glowing for a heartbeat in the silver light before they vanish into the dark. You close your eyes. In the darkness behind your eyelids, you feel the world slow even more. You hear the sound of your own breath echo softly, blending with the faint hum of wind through the tower stones. For a moment, you imagine that the sound is the world dreaming, that everything beyond these walls, the trees, the fields, the stars, has fallen into one great, shared slumber. You breathe again, slower now, softer, deeper. The fire crackles, the candles whisper, the bell, silent above, still hums faintly in the air. You feel the weight of the day melting away, the frost in your hands, the ache in your steps, the noise of thought. Everything dissolves into warmth and silence. And then, perhaps you do sleep, sitting there in that pew, wrapped in your cloak, beneath the glow of the candles, because you begin to dream. In your dream, you walk through fields of snow, wide and open beneath the moon. The snow is endless and soft, untouched by footprints. Each flake sparkles faintly as it falls. You walk without sound, your steps leaving no mark. The air is perfectly still. In the distance, the chapel bell tolls again, not heavy this time, but soft as wind, like a memory of a sound rather than the sound itself. The tone ripples through the air, gentle and endless. The snow swirls slowly around you. The sky deepens to silver gray. And far ahead, you see faint lights, golden and small, flickering through the veil of snow. The village, sleeping still. The inn, the hearth, the cat, the warmth. You walk toward it slowly, calmly, knowing that it waits, that warmth always waits, that every step through the cold leads back to light. The dream fades like mist. You breathe once more. The candles flicker softly. The chapel bell does not ring again. You open your eyes, unsure if you ever left this place, or if the dream and the waking world have simply become the same. The snow outside continues. The night remains gentle, and somewhere, far off, the heart of the world beats slow and calm. The world is hushed beyond all sound. You awaken once more, or perhaps you simply open your eyes within the dream. The chapel is quiet. The candles have burned low, their flames no larger than tiny stars in cups of glass. The brazier glows faintly, its embers breathing in slow rhythm, as though asleep themselves. You stand, feeling the cloak fall gently around your shoulders. The air is cool, tinged with the scent of smoke and wax. As you move toward the door, your steps echo softly, a kind of music made of hush and patience. The wooden door creaks as you open it, and moonlight rushes in like a soft wave. Outside, the snow has grown deep. It lies untouched, blanketing the chapel steps, the fields beyond, the silent roofs of the sleeping village. The world is pure white now, endless and unbroken dot. Above, the stars shimmer faintly through the veil of cloud. The moon lingers low, its pale light silvering the frost on every branch. You step into the night. The cold kisses your cheeks, a tender and living thing. Each breath rises in small white clouds that drift and fade into the glittering air. The sound of your steps is gentle, a soft crunch, 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 like the heartbeat of the snow itself. You look toward the forest's edge, and there something glows, a light, then another, and another. A trail of lanterns, they hang from wooden posts that mark a narrow path winding through the snow. Each lantern flickers with a warm golden flame, steady and slow. They seem to float in the darkness, like stars that have fallen from the heavens to rest upon the earth. You feel no fear, only a deep, quiet curiosity. Something about the lanterns calls to you, not with words, but with peace. They promise stillness, rest, understanding. You follow them. The path leads away from the chapel hill, through the gentle curve of a meadow where the snow lies deep and smooth. Your boots sink softly, leaving behind small, perfect impressions. The air is cold against your skin, yet not unkind. It feels pure, cleansing, as though each breath washes you clean of the world's noise. As you walk, the sound of wind through distant pines begins faint, like a sigh. The trees murmur to one another in their sleep, their branches heavy with snow. A few flakes fall again, lazy and slow, spiraling through the lantern light before coming to rest upon your shoulders. You brush one away and feel the cool kiss of melting ice against your glove. Tiny, fleeting, beautiful, the lanterns guide you onward, their light catching the snow like golden silk dot to your right. The river flows silent beneath a thin sheet of ice. You can hear its muted voice, a low, watery hum that keeps time with your footsteps. Here and there, a patch of open water glints in the moonlight, reflecting the lantern flames in trembling circles of gold. You pause beside the river and listen. The sound soothes you, slow, constant, patient. You crouch and touch the surface of the ice. It's cold, smooth, and humming faintly, as though it remembers the warmth of summer. Beneath it, dark shapes drift, maybe waterweed, maybe shadow, maybe dream. You stand again and continue. The path leads into the forest now. Tall pines rise on either side, their trunks black against the white snow. Their branches arch overhead, forming a vaulted canopy like the ceiling of a great hall. The wind sighs through them in long, deep breaths. Snow falls gently from their boughs, landing with a muffled thump on the path. Lanterns hang here too, one every few steps, casting warm circles of light that melt into the darkness between them. The rhythm of their glow feels like a pulse, flicker, pause, flicker, pause, guiding your steps deeper into calm. A fox crosses the path ahead, silent and swift. Its fur gleams orange in the lantern light, and for a heartbeat, its eyes meet yours, bright, knowing, ancient. Then it slips back into the shadows, leaving only its delicate prints in the snow. You walk on. The forest hums around you, a low, wordless lullaby made of wind and wood and snow. It feels as if the trees themselves are breathing with you. You slow your steps, falling into their rhythm, in, out, in, out. The deeper you go, the softer everything becomes. The lanterns dim slightly, their flames smaller now, as though the night itself is growing gentler. Even your thoughts begin to dissolve, fading like footprints beneath. New snow, you reach a clearing. At its center stands a single tree, vast and ancient. Its trunk is thick, its branches high and bare, each one crusted with frost that glitters like silver lace. Beneath it, the snow lies smooth and untouched, except for a single lantern hanging from one of its lowest limbs. This lantern glows differently. Its light is pale gold, almost white, softer than fire, warmer than the moon. You walk toward it, each step slow and deliberate. The air grows still. The wind fades completely. Even the forest seems to bow in silence. When you reach the tree, you place your hand upon its bark. It's cool to the touch, smooth in some places, rough in others, but beneath the cold you feel something deeper, a pulse, slow, ancient, steady, like the heartbeat of the world itself. You close your eyes. The light of the lantern shines through your eyelids, turning the darkness behind them into warm gold. The silence is vast. You hear the sound of your own breathing, slow, calm, infinite. The lantern sways gently on its branch. Its movement stirs the air just enough to brush against your face, a soft, almost human touch. In that moment, everything inside you stills. Every thought, every memory, every echo of the day fades. You are no longer separate from the night. You are part of it. The snow beneath your boots, the wind among the trees, the lantern's flame. The stars above all of it breathes together, slowly, endlessly, peacefully. You let go. You let the cold and the warmth mingle on your skin. You let your heartbeat match the rhythm of the trees. You let the silence settle deep within you like soft snow. Time dissolves. There is no before or after, no journey or destination, only stillness, only peace, only this breath, this glow, this quiet. And for a long, long while, perhaps forever, you stand there beneath the ancient tree, bathed in the gentle light of the lanterns, listening to the sound of the snow as it whispers the world into sleep. For a long while, you linger beneath the ancient tree. The lantern's light flickers softly. The snow drifts down like sleeping feathers. You could stay there forever, but somewhere beyond the forest, you hear something faint, a chime, soft, distant. Calling, you lift your head and listen. It comes again, delicate like a bell made of glass, ringing far through the snow. You turn toward it beyond the clearing. Another path glimmers faintly narrower than before, half lost beneath the snow. The trees lean close, their branches heavy with white. The lanterns are gone now, yet the way forward glows faintly on its own, as if the moonlight itself is guiding you. You take a breath and follow. The snow is deep, but each step feels easier than the last, as though the forest is gently carrying you onward. Your cloak brushes the drifts. Frost sparkles in your footprints. The air grows warmer, touched by the faint scent of pine smoke and something sweeter, like bread baking or honey melting by a hearth. You know this scent, though you can't say from where. It feels like home. As you walk, the trees begin to thin. The wind eases. The snow falls more slowly, lazily, in spirals that glitter as they descend. And then you see it. A faint glow between the trunks. A window, small, round, golden with FIRELIGHT. You step closer, heartslow.com. Another window joins it, then another. The trees part completely, and before you lies a cottage. It is small, built of stone and timber, its roof heavy with snow. A plume of smoke curls from the chimney, twisting silver into the night. Lanterns hang from the eaves, their flames steady and bright. The door is half covered by a curtain of ivy dusted in frost. A soft yellow light spills through its seams. You stand for a moment in the hush, watching. The cottage hums faintly, as if it breathes. Snowflakes catch in your hair. The air smells of cinnamon, firewood, and calm. You take one slow step forward, then another dot. The door creaks open before you can touch it. Warmth pours out golden, soft, deep dot inside. A fire burns in a wide hearth. The room glows with gentle amber light. A long wooden table stands to one side, covered in dried herbs, candles, and an old kettle that hums softly on the edge of the fire. You step inside, and the air wraps around you like a blanket. Your boots melt small pools into the floor. The door closes itself behind you with a whisper, shutting out the wind and snow. You breathe in the warmth. It feels alive, almost like a memory taking shape. On the mantel above the fire, you notice a few curious things. A brass key shaped like a leaf, a bowl of tiny glass marbles that glow faintly blue, and a wooden figure of a sleeping fox. Every object hums with faint light, as though the cottage itself remembers stories long untold. You approach the fire. A small chair waits there, carved, old but soft with furs. A woolen blanket rests across it, as if it has been waiting for you all along. You sit. The warmth seeps through your cloak and into your bones. The fire crackles softly, its sound rhythmic, steady, hypnotic. Shadows dance along the walls, slow as breath. The kettle sighs, and somewhere behind you, a faint melody begins, the sound of a lullaby hummed by someone unseen. It isn't eerie. It's gentle, the kind of song someone might hum to an old friend. You glance around, but there is no one here. Still, you feel presence, not of a person, but of peace itself, filling every corner of this room. The air smells of tea leaves and dried flowers. You close your eyes for a moment. When you open them again, you notice something else. A small door at the far end of the room, half hidden by a curtain. You rise slowly and walk toward it. The curtain parts as you draw near. Beyond the door is a small chamber, candlelit, warm still. A bed stands against the wall, covered in thick quilts of wool and linen. Beside it, a single window looks out into the snow. The glass glows faintly with reflected moonlight. You approach and rest your hand on the quilt. It's warm, soft, and faintly humming with the same golden calm that fills the air. You sit upon it, then lie back slowly. The pillow beneath your head smells faintly of pine and honey. The firelight flickers gently through the open doorway, painting gold across the ceiling. The lullaby still hums distant, slow, perfect. Outside, the snow continues to fall, muffling the world into silence. You close your eyes, and the world breathes with you. The house creaks once, softly, as though settling in for the night. The wind sighs beyond the window. The warmth deepens, your heartbeat slows, your breathing softens, and for a moment, perhaps for many, you drift at the edge of dreams. You are not quite awake, not quite asleep. The cottage, the forest, the snow, all fade into one single feeling. Home, no beginning, no ending, only rest, only peace, only this, the gentle warmth of a house built of dreams. The world is very quiet now, so quiet that you can hear the faint rhythm of your own breathing. Slow, calm, steady. Each inhale feels like warmth drawn from the hearth. Each exhale like a ribbon of mist fading into the still air. You lie beneath the heavy quilt, and the firelight flickers along the walls, golden threads weaving shadows in slow motion. Outside the window, the snow continues its endless descent. Each flake lands soundlessly, a soft punctuation to the silence. Somewhere far away, or perhaps only in your thoughts, a bell chimes once, low, clear, lingering. You do not startle. The sound feels familiar, like something from a memory you've almost forgotten. You open your eyes slightly. The room hasn't changed. The same wooden beams stretch above you. The same fire glows in the hearth. Yet the air feels different now, gentler, weightless, as though the cottage itself is floating in quiet time. You listen again. The bell chimes once more, faint, distant but perfectly soft. It seems to come from the forest beyond the snow. You can almost imagine its shape, a bronze bell, covered in frost, hanging from an ancient tower that no longer exists, ringing only in dreams. Your body is still, yet your thoughts drift toward it, not walking, just drifting, as if carried by the hum of the sound itself. The fire sighs, the shadows move, the golden light turns silver, and the silver turns pale white, like moonlight wrapping the room in calm. You are aware of everything, the weight of the blanket, the faint scent of herbs from the kettle, the pulse of your own heartbeat, yet everything feels distant, as though you're watching it all through a veil of snow. You breathe in, and out. The rhythm matches the bell. Inhale, the sound expands. Exhale, the sound fades. Each breath draws you deeper into stillness. You begin to sense the presence of the bell not as a sound, but as a feeling, something vast, old, and kind. It doesn't call you to wake. It calls you to rest. The melody seems to ripple through your mind like gentle water. Images appear behind your closed eyes. A frozen lake, reflecting the moon. A single candle on its shore, flickering without wind. And above it, the faint outline of that bell tower. Half dream, half dash memory dot. The world holds its breath, and then the sound stops. Only silence now, deep, rich, complete. Yet the silence is not empty. It's full of warmth, of peace, of soft, unseen presence. You feel it around you, like invisible arms, or the memory of someone humming a lullaby long ago. The fire crackles once, and you hear another sound, so faint it might be imagined. Snow sliding gently from the roof. You smile without meaning to. Your body sinks further into the bed. Every muscle softens. Every thought slows. Every sound merges into one long, endless breath. The wind outside rises for just a moment, brushing against the window like a whisper. Rest now, and you do. You let go completely. The world tilts into the rhythm of sleep, the bell now distant, dissolving into snow, into night, into the slow heart of peace itself. Time stretches thin, moments become long and round, looping endlessly like snowfall that never reaches the ground. The cottage hums, the fire glows, the snow listens. You are no longer walking, no longer watching. You are simply being, floating in a world where nothing is asked of you but to breathe. And you breathe, slowly, softly, perfectly. Your eyelids grow heavier, even in the dream. Your mind quiets to a single note of comfort, that soft, endless hum beneath all things. The bell no longer sounds, but its echo remains, carried in your chest like the rhythm of peace. And as you sink deeper, you sense something, the faintest warmth against your hand. It's the little wooden figure of the sleeping fox from the mantel. You don't remember taking it, yet here it lies beside you, faintly warm, as though alive. You turn it gently in your fingers. The moment feels infinite. The warmth spreads from your palm to your arm, to your chest, and finally to your heart, where it settles like light. You close your eyes again. No sound now. No need to move. Only the feeling of snow drifting endlessly beyond the window, and the comfort of knowing that everything outside the forest, the village, the stars, is resting too. The age of snow is not cold, is not cold. It is gentle. It asks nothing but stillness. You drift a little further, and further still. The fire fades to embers. The air cools, then warms again. Somewhere, the bell rings once more, softer than before, as if from another lifetime. You hear it not with your ears, but with your heart, and then even that fades. All that remains is warmth, and light, and sleep. You are drifting, not through space, not through time, but through stillness. The cottage, the fire, the bell, they are all around you, yet far away, as though seen through gently falling snow. You feel no weight now, only warmth, only rest. Outside, the forest sleeps beneath a silver sky. The moon has hidden behind soft clouds, and the snow glows faintly, as if it remembers the light even without it. The world has no edges here. Everything folds into softness. The trees, the earth, the air itself. You can almost hear the snow breathe, slowly, softly, peacefully. You lie still, your body perfectly at ease. Your heartbeat, once strong, now moves like the echo of a lullaby, each beat a whisper, safe, calm, home. Somewhere beyond the cottage walls, a river murmurs faintly under a thin skin of ice. The sound travels through the night like a secret only winter knows. It mingles with the sighing of the wind and the deep silence that holds everything together. In this silence, you begin to sense the true meaning of this night. This is not merely winter. It is the age of snow, a time when the world forgets its noise, its haste, its endless turning, and remembers what it is to rest. Every creature sleeps. Every leaf and stone, every roof and path, all held in gentle pause. You are part of it now, a thread woven into the blanket of stillness. No past, no future, only this vast, kind now. You breathe in. The air tastes faintly of pine and silver. You breathe out. The world exhales with you, and for the first time you realize you are no longer inside the cottage. You are lying in an open meadow, covered in snow that does not chill. The flakes that fall upon your face melt into warmth instead of cold. Above you, the stars shimmer through thin clouds, slow, luminous ancient dot. Each one pulses softly, as if beating with your heart. The snowflakes drift sideways, glimmering in the starlight like fragments of dreamlight. You lift your hand. They fall across your fingers, then dissolve into golden mist. The sky bends low, and you feel it. The deep hum of the universe itself, slow and kind, moving beneath everything. It's the same hum that filled the cottage walls, the same rhythm that echoed in the bell, the same pulse that beats in your chest even now. You understand it now. The bell never called you outward. It called you inward, to this still center, where every sound fades into rest. You let go completely. No need to hold on to thought or story. No need for words or form. You simply float in light. The snow continues its endless dance, falling, melting, shining. Each flake a small dream drifting down from the quiet heavens. The air is warm, though the snow falls thick. The earth hums like a slow heartbeat beneath your body. And in the distance, you hear once more that familiar whisper, the soft voice of the wind that guided you from the village long ago. You have arrived. Your lips part in a faint smile. There is nothing more to seek, nothing more to know. Only this peace, boundless and whole. You close your eyes again. The snow gathers gently around you, yet you do not feel its weight. It feels like soft feathers, tucking you in, sealing the world in silence. The stars above grow dim, blending into the white sky. The fire within you glows softer and softer, until it matches the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, the snow glows faintly golden. Exhale, it dims again. Inhale, warmth spreads across your skin. Exhale, your thoughts drift further away. Your body becomes light. Your mind quiet. Your heart steady. You can feel sleep rising from beneath the world like a tide, lifting you slowly, gently, weightless lie. The final flake lands upon your forehead. You barely feel it. Only warmth, only peace, only the rhythm of breath. The last sound before silence is the faint ringing of the unseen bell. One final note that lingers, and then fades into forever. And as the note disappears, so does everything else. The forest, the snow, the stars, the cottage, the world all folds softly into sleep, and you drift within it. Safe and endless, cradled in the quiet heart of the age of snow.